Verity, what would you like to say?
I won't survive without PIP. It will be the death knell for me, and that's not hyperbole.
Okay.
I have a congenital disease. I was born disabled. I've spent my life pretending to be able-bodied because I grew up with a disabled father during Thatcher's era. So this government, with the figures that I've been looking at, are asking people to subsist on £50 a week on universal credit. That is only a few quid more than it was in 1990 during the poll tax riots. There was a placard, I exist on £47 a week, I can't pay poll tax. 35 years on, and we're expected to live in the 2025 economy on £50 a week, and then I'm not going to get PIP with the new criteria.
Because you don't score 4 points in
No, I'm not going to qualify.
In any of no. Can you explain that to us, do you think? I mean, what does that mean?
I don't know if you're aware of PIP, but it's War and Peace. It's 40 pages long.
No, I understand that. I don't want to sound... I'm just conscious of the time. So
yeah,
for
sure.
people listening who don't know what... Because they will say, if you're not scoring 4 points in at least one of the 10 areas of assessment, then you're not disabled enough. That to break it down into really unpleasant and ugly language, that is what it looks like from the outside. What does it mean from the inside?
From a pure medical perspective, it's such a lie. All that is moving the goalpost. It's not saying you're not disabled enough. We just don't want to pay you for your level of disability. We don't want to help you through life because this is not an out-of-work benefit. This is helping people that are disabled who are in work stay in work. So
but if you're in work, you're not.
I'm not in work. I wish I could be, and I have tried.
So can we talk about you? So when you fail to get these 4 points, what does that mean? What is the category in which you get 3 or do you see what I mean? Because I know how complicated it is, and that makes this question a complicated question by definition. But for people who know nothing about this world, or your life, what is it that you do not suffer from that would push you into the next, in any of those 10 categories, that would qualify you for the payment?
So as of last year, I had home assistance. And that person was running the bath for me, preparing my meals, cutting food for me because I can't safely cut food myself. They were doing all manner of tasks for me in order for me to do the things that I could still do, which is very limited. I've got quite limited mobility. I've got Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So that affects all my organs and all my joints. Right now I've got finger splints on because my index fingers keep wanting to dislocate. So
this is what I'm confused. This is what I mean. You're confident that you're not going to qualify under the key protections for the most severely disabled.
Because of the language that's been used. There's minor adjustments as to. So for example, I have a person who can help me make a meal. Yeah. But for example, I could use a microwave.
Yes.
I don't have a microwave, but say I had a microwave and I could use. So she prepared the meal for me, and then I come to have a meal. And I can put it in a microwave that instantaneously precludes me from a point.
So that's one of the questions they would ask, is this person capable of operating a microwave? If they are, they don't need help heating food.
And yet that's not strictly true, because there are days I won't be able to do that, because my condition is called dynamic.
Right.
I have a dynamic disability where...
Does that mean it goes up and down?
Yeah. I mean, and it's extreme. I mean, like last year, for example, I stubbed my toe. And I dislocated it. So, and that normal person just stubs their toe and they walk about the rest of their life. I was off my foot for 6 weeks.
And the PIP is only going to be on the day that you answer the question?
Yeah.
So if you were post-stubbing, your answer to some questions would be very different to your answers pre-stubbing.
Yeah.
And that is something that the system doesn't recognise at all.
And the fact is, this condition is I'm going to get more ill. As once I hit 40, you're going to see an increase in health events with this condition, and I have. I was in hospital in 2022 as an emergency. I mean, even a couple of weeks ago, I have an open complaint with the DWP. They called a welfare check on me because I was suicidal.
And I'm so sorry to hear that, I obviously. And the idea that more could be done to help you into work, how does...
There's no, do you know what?
Go on.
I will say this. I've worked all my life. I didn't even wait to leave school. I was 14 when I started working, and I only stopped working after the DWP declared me unfit for work in 2008. Even though they did that, I was still trying to go back to work, and I was told by my employer that I couldn't go back and they had to terminate my contract. And I spent the next 10 years trying to find a way off the benefits so I could work. And there was one year, 2019, I spent some time trying to create some content for online, and I spent 5 hours doing it, and I spent 3 months recovering. And I was in a deep, dark depression after that because I realised I had to accept I'm never going to work again, and that was so destroying for me.
Of course it was. Of course
Nobody wants to be on benefits. This is not an indulgence. It's not a choice. No one would choose, no rational person chooses this unless they have no choice.